What's going on, all my toy collectors and DC fans out there? You know who it is. It's your boy Ox, and welcome to the Cave of Wonders. Now, today we're going to be taking a look at a brand new 2024 DC Multiverse Darkseid Mega figure. I got this figure for about $40 off of Amazon. I'll make sure I'll leave a link in the description below, okay? Let's go ahead and crack this baby open and take a look at it. Okay, now starting off at the front of the box, you can see it says DC Multiverse, let you know the name of the character we're going to be looking at, which is Darkseid. This figure is for ages 12 and up. You know what I don't see on the front of this box? I don't see Mcfarlane's name, and I don't see how many points of articulation this figure has. Normally you can find that like up here at the left or somewhere down here, but I don't see it. Now, it does have a clear package window showing you the figure that's inside. Like I said, we are looking at Darkseid. You can see it comes with 2 extra set of hands, extra head sculpt, you know, your figure stand and card in the back and everything like that. I've already measured the package out for you guys and measured out to 9 inches long by 12 inches tall by 6 inches in depth. So that's how much shelf space you're going to need if you're going to be displaying this. It's a little bit bigger than 12 inches, okay? I only mentioned the size of the boxes because I know a lot of you guys like to keep your figures in the boxes, and you're probably making custom shelves and stuff like that to display these figures, but I want to let you know it's a little bit bigger than 12 inches, like 12 3/8 or something like that, all right? This is the side of the box, just says Darkseid. There's Mcfarlane's name right there. On the back of the box, you can see this really cool image of Darkseid. Now, this is Darkseid in his classic costume or whatever. I will do a comparison of the Darkseid from the Zack Snyder movie, okay? There you go. This is Darkseid right there. Bottom of the box, in case you guys need that, that barcode right there. Let's go ahead and crack this baby out of the box. And here he is all out of the box. You guys can see it comes with a figure, little figure stand, collector's card, 2 extra set of hands, and a head sculpt right there, all right? Taking a look at the collector's card, it's the same image that was on the back of the box, Darkseid in his classic outfit. Little read up on Darkseid in case you guys don't know who he is, but everybody knows who Darkseid is. He's the big bad guy of the DC universe. Little collector's card or figure stand right here that Mcfarlane throws in with all of his DC Multiverse figures. Now, he does come with 2 extra set of hands. You guys can see in his left hand, he has a closed fist. So this right here is his right hand's fist right here, in case you guys want him like holding up a right-handed fist. And then he also comes with a left hand just for pointing, all right? There you go. And then you can see this one right here is an open hand on his right hand that him coming out of the box. He has a right open hand, but he doesn't actually have anything to hold. But I'm sure maybe if you guys have something you guys want to put in his hand, you guys can do that, all right? And out of the box, his head sculpt ends up coming with Omega beams. So this is an extra head sculpt in case you guys don't want him shooting those Omega beams, just kind of, you know, looking menacing like he is right here. I love the blue that they picked for this figure. This blue looks really cool. Definitely the classic Darkseid that I was hoping for. Excited to actually get this figure because when it first came out, it sold out, and I was happy to see it show back up on Amazon. So great detail, great sculpt work in his forehead. You guys can see all the lines. His eyes are red, the dark shading around his eyes. I think that's pretty cool. I know a lot of you guys, customizers out there, probably going to throw some black wash in here and bring out some of those lines. But I kind of like him looking just the way he is, you know, more comic book and cartoonish in my opinion. Now, I've already measured the figure out for you guys. He ended up measuring out to 9 1/4. So he's a pretty tall figure, but I'll go ahead and do a couple comparisons at the end of the review so you guys can see his height compared to some other figures other mega figures that Mcfarlane has already released. But yeah, man, check out that head sculpt right there. I love what they did with the Omega beam coming out of one eye right here and then coming out the other. I don't see this as being removable. Maybe if you guys put some kind of Goo Gone or something like that, maybe these will pop out of the head sculpt, but I don't see them coming out with me just pulling on them right there, all right? Now, this is a pretty top heavy figure, and just to let you guys know, this foot right here was a little bit loose right here at the joint. See that? I'm like barely even touching it. So he kept kind of tipping over. I might throw a little bit of like goop up in there to maybe like kind of go up them joints. That way it's not so easy. But that's the issue I had. I didn't heat this figure up or anything like that. Now, all the other joints, as far as like the elbows and the knees and everything like that, were pretty tough to bend. But his arms ended up being really easy. They turn really easy right up here. They might pop out, what sometimes happens with some of these mega figures. But just keep that in mind, okay, that, you know, he does kind of, as you guys can see, he kind of tips over on that right foot right there. But I'll throw something in there to try and stop it from doing that. But taking a look at him, man, he looks amazing. I love this little crest right here with a little D on it for Darkseid right there. You guys can see that, man. That is really cool. I like the fact that they added that in. The wire cape is definitely an awesome touch as well. Love all the veins and everything like right here that are all in his arms. This might be reused from Solomon Grundy. I'm not for sure, but I'll pull that Arkham City Solomon Grundy out and take a look and see if maybe that's reused right here in the arms. But man, I'm really loving this figure right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back real quick. I like the wire cape. I like the fabric that they end up choosing, nice and shiny. I do like the way that looks. I even like his belt, this little like waist. It kind of looks like a rubber band almost, like a really thick gray rubber band. I love the way this looks right here. This is pretty dope. Like I said, for only basically being two different colors, gray and blue, man, this figure really looks awesome. Really excited to have this figure in my collection. Let's quickly go over the articulation. His head does rotate. It's kind of stiff right now, but it does rotate, but that's good. I like my figures to be stiff because I don't like them to tip over, especially when they're this big and heavy. Head does look up only about that far. Does look down a whole lot if you guys need him to. That way he can look down on all the other figures that are smaller than him. You guys can lift his arm up. You guys can rotate it if you need to. He's not going to have any kind of bicep swivel, but it does bend right here at the elbow. Not double jointed elbows, but it does bend at the elbow. There we go. Wrists do rotate. They do go in. They do go out. He does move right here at the waist just a little bit if you guys want him to. So he can move back just a little bit and then can move forward. But you're not going to see like a whole bunch, a huge ab crunch right there just because he's so thick right here in the waist. And then this band right here is preventing that, okay? Legs don't kick up at all. At least mine don't. They're hindered right here by all this. So you can't get them to kick out just a little bit like there. But you can't get them to kick up very far, all right? Which isn't a big deal. I'm not playing with this figure, and I doubt most, parents are buying this $40 figure for their kids. But, so, you're not going to be expecting him to do some cool karate poses or anything like that because that's what he has all his guards for. It doesn't rotate right up here at the thigh muscle. It does have double jointed knees. Feet do rotate side to side. They do go up. They do go down. They do rock side to side. And he does have toe articulation right there. I don't even like playing with the toe articulation with some of these heavier figures because I don't want the toes to get all loose and then start falling over. But yeah, man, awesome looking figure. I love the way this thing looks. Let's go ahead and remove this head sculpt and I'll switch the other one on and I'll switch out his hand real quick. Like I said, he doesn't have any kind of weapons, but I'll do that real fast. All right. And here he is after I swapped his head out. I went to swap off his hand right here and put in this little pointer finger. But man, I was having a heck of a time trying to get this out. I'm going to end up having to heat that up in some water. I didn't want to break it, pulling it as hard as I was. But yeah, man, this right here is his normal head sculpt without his Omega beam shooting out right there. Just in case you guys want to display him like this, all right? But yeah, man, pretty awesome figure. Like I said, the wire cape is definitely a big bonus. The fact that Mcfarlane's throwing these wire capes on a lot of his figures right now for the same price, or maybe even like $1 more, isn't really a big deal to me. I'm really liking the fact that he's doing that. So I'm willing to pay the extra money rather than having to pay someone else for a custom cape and then hook it all on myself. Now, when I did pop off this head sculpt, I noticed that this cape right here is actually tucked inside of this emblem right here on his chest. So it's not going to just pop right off. You guys are going to end up having to unhook this in case you guys don't want this cape on your figure, all right? Let's go and do a couple comparisons real fast. Now here's Darkseid standing next to a couple other mega figures by Mcfarlane. You can see Doomsday right here and Killer Croc. You can see they all stand exactly around the same height. A little bit taller for Doomsday just because of the little man bun on top of his head, all right? Other than that, they're all the same size figure. And I did look at the Solomon Grundy Arkham City Build-A-Figure. Those are not the same arms. I thought they were, but you guys can see the stitching right here and the stitching right there. So these are not the same arms. I thought they were just reuse of the same arms, but they're not. I wish this figure was a lot bigger right here, this Build-A-Figure. The Solomon Grundy should have been even bigger than these figures right here, but, things happen, but it would have been nicer if he was, this size. In my opinion, I think a lot of people probably complained about that, but this figure should have definitely been a lot bigger because he was huge in the Arkham City game. And he's big, a lot bigger than Batman in general. But other than that, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Until next time, stay cool.